Do you ever worry that you've spent an awful lot of your life playing video games? Well, remember, you're not alone in being dedicated to your hobby. As a planet, we spend billions of hours a month on these pieces of entertainment, but some games have had a lot more time spent on them than others. But which ones are the most popular? And I'm not talking in terms of sales, but in the cumulative amount of time that every person has spent playing them. Which game's total population's playtime can be counted in the billions of hours? Now just remember, before we get started, these numbers are estimates. Sometimes figures get inflated by a game's developers, while for others, exact statistics were just simply unavailable. So here are the 10 games that have taken up most people's time. If the games were released on multiple platforms, then the figures are added together, while casual games such as Candy Crush Saga haven't been included. Valve's first-person shooter may be best known as a PC favorite, but it was also released on the Xbox 360 and PS3. After it was made free-to-play in 2011, the Team Fortress 2 phenomenon really took off. It may be aging a bit now, but it's still hugely popular and often found on Steam's most played games of the year list. The total current hours spent playing it is estimated at 2 billion hours. Has it really been 15 years since the first Halo game saw the light of day? Ooh, the series was one of the first console games to become famous for its online multiplayer element. With over a decade of chart-topping games released, it's no wonder that the Halo series finds its way onto this list. And with Halo 5 coming out on the Xbox One next year, expect the total playtime of these games to keep on rising from its current 3 billion hours. Another hugely popular PC shooter. The first Counter-Strike was actually a Half-Life mod before getting a full release way back in 2000. From there, the game had 3 incredibly popular sequels and several spin-offs. Even a decade after its initial release, these games are constantly found in the top 10 most played PC games chart. In total, they make up over 3.5 billion hours of game time. Most people recognize the Grand Theft Auto games as the 3D crime simulators that they're notorious for being, but the series' first 2 incarnations were done in a top-down 2D style. These were also very popular and took a lot of time out of players' lives. When GTA changed into the 3-dimensional version we're familiar with today, it became one of the most popular and iconic games on the planet. Having releases on multiple platforms really helped to boost the total number of hours spent on them, but it's the series' online multiplayer mode that has catapulted its stats to 4 billion total hours and counting. Who would have imagined that an independently produced sandbox game with retro pixelated graphics would have become so popular that it got a South Park episode based on it? After recently buying a $70 million LA mansion following the sale of Minecraft's development company to Microsoft for $2 billion, the game's creator, Marcus Notch Persson, will certainly be thankful of Minecraft's 60 million sales, amounting to a total of 5 billion hours spent mining, crafting, and building. The online PC store Steam officially has Dota 2 as both the most owned and most actively played product in their library. The multiplayer online battle arena game is known for its passionate players and huge prize money tournaments. In the relatively short period of time that Dota 2 has been available, it has already managed to accumulate 6 billion hours of total playtime, a figure that is rising quite rapidly. The first Guild Wars had over a decade of dedicated players spending time in its MMORPG world, while its sequel, Guild Wars 2, holds the title of being the fastest selling MMO in history. 3.5 million copies shifted in 4 months. Today, the game's total number of sales stands at over 7 million units. With its long history and enduring popularity, the 2 Guild Wars games and their expansions have clocked up an amazing 15 billion total hours of playtime. Possibly the most famous online first-person shooter ever made, Call of Duty is another game series that's been around for over a decade and gets releases on multiple platforms. This is the only entry in the top 5 that isn't classed as multiplayer only, although people do tend to forget that it has a single-player campaign, such is the popularity of its online competitive mode. Now on to its 14th iteration, the series has claimed 25 billion hours of players' time, and with the releases showing no signs of slowing down, that number will likely continue to increase. It may be only 5 years old, but multiplayer online battle arena game, or MOBA for short, League of Legends has taken the world by storm. Current statistics place it as being the most played game on any platform today, with an incredible 67 million players and 1 billion total hours spent on it in a month. With statistics like that, it's likely to eventually take the #1 position in the chart, but until then it remains second with an incredible 30 billion hours total playtime. The granddaddy of massively multiplayer online role-playing games. You guys knew this one was coming. Some say World of Warcraft has moved beyond its classification as a mere game. Today, it's more a shared social experience. More than a decade old and still boasting over 7 million monthly subscribers. At its peak, the game had a subscription base of 11 million people. So it's no wonder that its numbers are mind-boggling. 60 billion hours have been spent on World of Warcraft altogether. That's nearly 7 million years, longer than humanity spent evolving as a species. All this in just an 11-year period. It may have League of Legends looking to take its title as the most hours spent on a game, but the newcomer will have to wait a bit longer before it knocks the land of Azeroth off the top spot.